In this week's Ask an Expert episode, I'm joined by Jean-François Démoré, a chartered investment manager with Innova Wealth in Sudbury. Jean-François, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Marina.
So tonight's topic is alternative investments, and 2022 seemed like a very difficult year for investors. So did everyone feel the pain equally?
Yeah, great question. It was really a difficult year. What happened in 2022, which was relatively unique, is that we saw both major components of the investment portfolio lose money. So typically the average investor has two pieces of the puzzle, stocks and bonds. For the first time in more than 50 years, both of those pieces lost money. So the average person didn't have a shelter. Usually in a normal market environment, they move in different ways. So when one loses money, the other makes money. And so that helps stabilize the ride for investors. 2022, that wasn't the case. So we saw the average person losing 10 or 12%, which is difficult. On the other hand, comparatively, pension funds actually did quite well. So we saw some of them actually make some money last year.
So certainly a rough ride for many investors. Can you explain to our viewers what pension funds and endowments do differently?
Yeah, the million-dollar question, Rena. It's fundamentally, pension funds take a little bit of a different approach to investing. So where the average individual is focused on how do I keep up with the markets, the pension funds look at it more, how do I meet my objectives, which is how do I help people get to their retirement goals. And so what that means is that instead of just participating in stocks, they look beyond that. They look for different types of investments, things like real estate, so apartment buildings or commercial buildings. They'll look for long-term care homes or infrastructure or private companies. So they really broaden the type of investment that they can put into their portfolio. And those types of things generally have more stable returns than the conventional stock market.
So tell us, why don't more people have these types of investments in their portfolio, and what can they do?
Yeah, so the problem with that type of investment is that you need two things. You need lots of money and you need lots of time. So these are generally investments that have very high minimums and very long time commitments where you can't necessarily take your money out for 7 to 10 years, let's say. So that makes it very difficult for the average person to be invested in those types of things, myself included. As a self-employed person, I wanted to build a pension plan that I could have that would be similar to something like the Ontario Teachers Pension Plan, which is one of the best in the world. I wanted something like that for myself. And so that's what we set out to build. I partnered with other advisors who had the same philosophy. We came together and built one pool of capital that allows us to access the types of things that as individuals we wouldn't be able to get into. And so that's really been the story behind Innova Wealth Partners, is that coming together to build a product, the first of its kind in Northern Ontario, that can allow us as a group to access the things that are generally restricted for either the ultra wealthy or for large pension funds.
Thank you for this, JF.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you, Marina.
Jean-François Démoré, a chartered investment manager with Innova Wealth in Sudbury. And for more information about our Ask an Expert segment or to view episodes, go to our website at ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca.